Welcome to Rick's Corner. I'm so happy to have the legend Albert Beckles back. He came by for something today, and I cornered him to sit and just give us a little bit of an interview and say hi to all you fans out there, because you always ask, where's Albert? I haven't seen Albert in a long time. And I want to show you that Albert is alive and well and doing good, right?
Yes.
No complaints.
Alive and kicking.
Yes, you are. You know, do you want to say your age?
No.
Okay, so we're not going to say, because you guys can just imagine how old he is. And the man is still in the gym every day training hard like there's no tomorrow, right?
Yes, well, I can say my age. I'm 20.
Yeah, okay. But you know, the thing I want to ask you is, back in the days when you were training, everybody had their routine. Was your routine pretty much like everybody else's?
No, my routine wasn't like everybody else's, because I started out training in a very small gym, which, if you can call it a gym. So most of the stuff I had to put together myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I wanted to do an exercise where we didn't have the type of equipment, I had to improvise.
Right.
Which worked for me, so I continue with that system all the way through.
Well, it's, back in those days, you had to put the plates on, put the collars on, and tear them down and put them back.
Well,
right?
If you want to do barbell bench press and flies together, well, didn't work.
Didn't work.
Because you had to strip the bar and make the dumbbells and then put the weights back on. It was
but you
fun.
you made good progress with that.
Yes. Yes.
And that was where you trained for a long time?
Well, that's the way I trained up to when I won the NABA Universe.
Really?
Yes. That's after going through all the smaller contests and the Mr. Britain and all of that.
And your diet back then was pretty much, you didn't eat a lot of sugar or carbs, did you?
No. My diet was pretty strict.
Still is?
Yes. Not as strict as it was, but it still is strict. Because I just don't like that, you know, big stomach, that flabby look. So
exactly.
Plus I enjoy eating the way I do.
That's the thing. When you enjoy eating a certain way and you feel good, then you add all this other sugar to it, then you started feeling lousy. You say, why did I even bother to do that? It's uncomfortable.
Right.
And you told me, about a month ago, we were talking about bicep, and I was asking you, how many days a week can you actually work arms for results? Or how many sets to do? And you told me, I don't know if you remember this, you said, I did a little bicep every day, 2 or 3 sets.
Yes. I did biceps every day, and I did my legs every day. Like for the legs, one day I'll do quadriceps, next day I'll do hamstrings and calves, that kind of stuff. I never try to do a full routine, because then I'm too tired and I won't be able to do it for another 2 days.
Don't fall, I don't have insurance.
Okay. So what I do is I kind of split it up.
Yeah.
And work it that way, and I find in doing this I can work 5-6 days a week.
I see what you're saying. You're just separating. But what about the bicep? You can't separate bicep from bicep.
Well, do biceps one day and do triceps the next day.
Okay, so you didn't do bicep every day.
No, not in that sense.
But the last like 3 times a week, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, because the old theory years ago when we were younger, and guys like Steve Reeves, they did the whole body part, every body part 3 times a week. And then I went to twice a week for the more current guys, and then sometimes once a week. I don't know about you, but I don't feel once a week's enough.
No, you have to move with the times, really. I mean, when you're going to talk about guys like Steve Reeves and John Grimmick and Red Park and those guys, I mean, they had the type of body for that kind of workout.
Right.
But things have progressed so much and so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that would never work today.
But they were in good shape.
For that, yes, they were good shape for that time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if I remember right, that Steve Reeves was like over 6 foot, and he only weighed something like 180 pounds or something like that. I mean, for today's standards, that's skinny. That's
skinny, but he had the shoulders and waist that set him apart from the rest. You're right, that is skinny. Yes. I mean, today it's like 250 to 300.
Yes.
What was your heaviest weight?
My heaviest weight, I think I went to like 235.
Really?
Yes. When I competed for the Olympia in '85, I was 230.
It's a lot of weight.
But I was pretty sharp then too.
I know you were. I know. I saw the photos. I remember those days. What's your feelings about today's bodybuilder compared to back in the day? I mean, it's really gone way over the edge. The look, the bloat, the size.
Well, we can say that now, but when you start looking back and then coming forward, when we go back to like the 60s and 70s, right? You know, the guys that was considered big then, we were saying the same thing.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
You know, there's too much and so on and so forth. So it's a type of sport that goes forward, you know, and hopefully there's no end. You can just keep going.
And the women too.
Oh, yes.
Women too, just keep going forward like that. Well, it comes to a point where a lot of people out there that write to me and say they preferred the classic physique of the 70s because it was more appealing to the eye to see somebody in shape and lean rather than huge and like an elephant walking around. And you know, and it takes a lot to get to that size. There's no question about it.
It's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice to get to that. Get to that size.
Did you train heavy back in the earlier days? Heavy?
No. I train more like the modern kind of training. Mainly because I wanted to keep going. Yeah. I couldn't afford any time off. Right. And if you train heavy, you know, each time you take, you know, a heavy bar, you're that close to having an injury. An injury, yeah.
However, just a few years ago, you were doing 100-pound dumbbells for presses.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, yes and no. Even now, I walk in the gym and I'm doing, you know, something that looks heavy to you, but it's not necessarily heavy for me. I've obviously worked up to that.
Right. But it is heavy.
Know, so.
Yeah. But for the young guys out there, want to hear your opinion on something. Heavyweight is, in the later years, is going to affect their joints. It's going to affect something.
Have to, yes.
Yeah, it's going to take its toll. So going that heavy at a young age is not the healthiest thing in the world.
Not at a young age, especially when you're still growing.
Right.
No.
So you feel that the lighter weight with the reps, you can get the same results? Pretty much.
It depends really on what you're going for. If you're going for the old look, you know, old school look, you know, sharp, you know, nice round muscles, yeah, that works for that. Right. But if you want to be really big, well, you're not going to get really big if you're using 100-pound dumbbells for bench press.
Yeah. So you've got to really actually just work the muscle and feed it and just let it grow.
Yes.
Your training today is at your age is, and for older guys, I get a lot of emails from guys in their 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s who say, well, I worked out for a long time. I haven't worked out in 10 years, 5 years, 20 years. I want to get back into the mode of training. How do you, and you train people that are older, how do you break them into workouts again after they've been off for such a long time? That's a lot of work to do for them.
Yeah, but you have to start over. You know, I have people that would say to me, well, you know, I say, okay, let's do the dumbbell bench press now. They say, well, I used to do 100 pounds or 160 pounds. Yeah. And I just laugh and say that was 10, but now we're going to do 20. Yeah. You know, you got to get back into it. You got to train your muscles and
get used to using the weight again.
Get used to that. Just get the feel of that heavy weight.
You know, the funny thing is, it just occurred to me just now, is that, I used to go heavy in 65-pound dumbbell curls, and if you don't do it occasionally, or at least once a week or once every 2 weeks, you lose your feel for that heavy weight. And then 20 pounds feels heavy because you haven't done it in so long. I haven't bench pressed now in probably 7 or 8 years, and I was a good bench presser. I don't know what I could even do now. I think the bar is heavy, right? Yeah. It gets to be that way. So you start small and go forward, but it's still never too late for somebody 67 years old to start getting in shape, right?
No, you can't. I mean, this is going to sound really silly, but when you start thinking about your age and how old you are, right, then you're old.
Yeah. You believe, your mind believes.
You make yourself old. You know, I can't do this because I'm old. Right. All right, so you're old, you can't do it.
I hear that so often. It is very frustrating for me to believe that. And these are guys like 20, 30 years younger than us who think at 40, 50 years old, they're old, can't do anything anymore. It's a state of mind. Your mind tells your body what to do.
That's why I'm 20.
I know you are. And our birthdays are a couple of days apart.
You're right.
I'm around the same age as you are. I want to thank you for giving me this time because I know it's hard to get you away from doing things because you're a creature of habit.
Okay.
It's hard to get you to go anywhere too far, but at least you came here today, and you fans always want to know where Albert is, and he's sitting right here in my studio right now talking to you, and I know they appreciate it as well. So I want to thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
And I want to be like you when I grow up.
Okay.
I have to be 20 though. Right? Thank you guys.
Okay, you're welcome, Rick.
Thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner.
Yeah.
And I'll see you on the next show. See you next time.
It's ricksracing.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.